and down. Keep those hips as still as you can. Main part of this exercise.
Indy!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah.
So 27 weeks today. Bump's getting a bit bigger. And Indy and I are going to go for a little jog around Holland Park. Aren't we, Indy? What do you think? So it's 2 weeks post-birth, and just walking to the shops and back feels like I've run a marathon. Pretty hard work. Hi, so I just had my mummy MOT at One Body Clinic in Chiswick this morning, and it's 8 weeks now since I gave birth. And it was really useful, actually. We started off kind of by going through my kind of birth story, but we also talked about kind of any issues I had during pregnancy, and then finished on kind of how I was feeling now, both kind of mentally and physically. And I had a lovely physio called Tara, and she gave me an examination and did some exercises with me to kind of test things like my balance, but also my pelvic floor, which is obviously really important. And she felt my tummy, and one thing she did identify was that I had a 2-centimeter tummy gap, which is where the connective tissue between the abdominal muscles widens during pregnancy. And this is quite common, so I think 100% of women have it at some point in their third trimester, and then this decreases to 60% after kind of 6 weeks postpartum, and then 30% after 1 year. So it is something that a lot of women have, but it's not, it's normal, but it's also shouldn't be normalized. And it's great that I have been identified with this, and now I can do some exercises to try and kind of close that tummy gap and strengthen my abdominal muscles and also strengthen my pelvic floor as well. And Tara's given me some great exercises I'm doing 3 or 4 times a week to now try and strengthen those areas. And I think it's quite sad that I went to my GP at 8 weeks. It's actually just a few days ago. And she didn't identify anything. She felt my tummy and she said I was fine, effectively like kind of signed me off to do exercise. Hi, Indy. And it's worrying because a lot of women will have I could have just carried on and maybe even made it worse. And there's lots of side effects. It's not only having a weaker core, but also it can cause incontinence, it can cause back pain, even hernias. And so it's just frustrating that wasn't identified. And I think it seems that there's a bit of a lottery. Yes, it seems there's a bit of lottery around, how much your GP really knows about this issue and the advice that's given. So I'm now 3 weeks postpartum, and so this week I started an exercise routine after giving myself a couple of weeks just to kind of rest and recover post-birth. And I'm doing the exercise program from a book called Why Did No One Tell Me by Emma Rockwell. This is the book here. And this is a great book. Emma's a pelvic health physiotherapist, and it addresses some common physical issues arising from both pregnancy and childbirth. So everything from kind of pelvic floor issues to prolapses, etc. And I found this really useful, and I'd recommend it to anyone who is pregnant or is returning to exercise post-birth. One of the things I like about it is there is a kind of an exercise program in the back. So it has how many weeks postnatal you are, and then examples of exercise progression. So the first couple of weeks, it really is more about pelvic floor muscle strengthening, some basic stretching, and then you progress kind of to weeks 8 to 12, introducing kind of swimming and aerobic exercises. I think it's going to be great for helping me return to running. There's also some exercise in the back as well, which I've started doing. So as I said, first couple of weeks, really more kind of stretching. And now I'm on week 3. I've started doing squats, lunges, shoulder bridges, calf stretches. And so this is really going to help me kind of strengthen my postnatal body and support my return to running. So 9 weeks postpartum, I'm just about to do my daily core restore exercises that my physio has recommended for me. And these are to strengthen my pelvic floor and my abdominal muscles. So I just had my 12-week checkup with the physio. On the positive side, my tummy gap, which was actually 3 centimetres in its kind of widest part, has now reduced to 2 centimetres. So that's really good. So it is actually closing. And we talked through the exercises she'd been giving me, and obviously I'm on track with those. However, she did say that my pelvic floor still needs a bit of strengthening before I can return to any kind of high impact exercise such as running. And it's really around the area where my episiotomy was and the scarring there. And so it isn't quite as strong as the rest of my pelvic floor. So that's pretty gutting, because I really thought like by 12 weeks I'd be able to start like a gradual return to running. So something like a couch to 5K, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And it might take a couple more weeks now of kind of continuing with the exercises, kind of massaging my episiotomy scar, and working on my pelvic floor a bit more before I can do any of that kind of high impact exercise. So I'm feeling pretty gutted, to be honest. I'm also a bit worried because I haven't got a lot of time before the MDS, and you know, there's obviously quite a lot to be done in terms of my training before then. But look, at the end of the day, I don't want to make things worse either. So I'm just gonna carry on doing what I'm doing. And then in a couple of weeks' time, kind of test again, maybe even go back to the physio and just do another test with her. But she's also given me a checklist, which I can do myself. So it's actually from Emma Brockwell's book, and it's things like kind of one-legged squats and hops and jumps. And if you can kind of do all of those things, then it's kind of a sign that you are ready to return to running again. So yeah, so let's see how the next couple of weeks goes, and yeah, take it from there. So pretty gutting, but it is what it is. How do you feel about being 3 months old, Rue? Are you happy? What should we do today to celebrate? Should we go for a walk? Should we go for a walk? Yeah. Okay. So I've done 2 weeks of physio exercises, and now I'm doing the Mummy MOT Power System, which is a postnatal recovery system. And And I've already done the Reconnect series and now I've moved on to Realign. So this is a set of exercises such as seated row with band, glute bridges, so super mama, curl downs, lunges, leg lifts and sidewalks. So I'm going to do this for the next 2 weeks, try and aim for kind of 2 or 3 times a day, if not every other day. Let's see how I get on.
An egg? Like, you know, Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, put himself back together again. Never ever felt more related to a random nursery rhyme in my life since this postpartum experience. Putting myself back together again. 3, 2, 1. Maybe you're putting.
So it's been 14 and a half weeks since I gave birth, and I've been doing my physio exercises since week 8, so I'm feeling a lot stronger. And today I'm going to try and do a load and impact management assessment, and this is from the Returning to Running postnatal guidelines, which I just downloaded from the internet, and these were the ones that were recommended by my physio. And so the assessment has a number of different exercises, and if you can do these without pain, heaviness or dragging, then it's a good signal that you can return to running. So I feel like that went okay. So what I'm going to do this week is probably just try some easy return to running, so just kind of jog/walking, and I'll see how that goes. Doing my first couch to 5k run. It's really beautiful along the river. I'm feeling good so far. Doing 1 minute walking, 1 minute running for 20 minutes. So let's see how it goes. So I just finished my first couch to 5k run. As you can see, it's dark already, but it felt really comfortable, so that's great, and it was 20 minutes, so I'm really pleased with that, and I'm glad I'm following this because I think I would have pushed myself too much. I've probably done some damage, so yeah, really happy. You two watching Mummy do her exercises. So I'm just on my way to the MDS Expo.
This is a test of self-sufficiency as much as it is a test of anything else, and self-sufficiency is really, really important.
So it's been to the MDS Expo. Yeah, it's cool. I had some really good talks, feeling quite hyped up now to go and actually do it. And I've got some good information on salt intake and kit and stuff like that, so yeah, really useful. Beautiful winter's day. Come on, Indy. Today we're doing 8 minutes running, 2 minutes walking, so it's going well. Come on, Indy. Beautiful morning. So we just finished week 4 of our couch to 5k. So we're doing 8 minutes running, 2 minutes walking. And it's definitely feeling more and more easy. This is feeling good, actually enjoying it. So yeah, on the right track. Indy. Indy loving her couch to 5k. Week 5 couch to 5k. Just did 12 minutes running, 2 minutes walking, times 2, and then 5 minutes running at the end. I feel a bit tired, but I also feel really good. Maybe it was the trainers, but yeah, really happy. So 2 more days until the 5k. Just finished my first 5k since the baby, and I did it in 30 minutes around Richmond Park, so I'm feeling really proud of myself. So obviously quite red. I probably shouldn't have worn my thermal top, but yeah, feeling really good.